Hey, what's up, y'all? BboyWicket here. Just the other day, I wanted to talk to Rite just to catch up and see how he was doing. He lives in Switzerland, I live in Austin. It's been a while, so I figure I hit him up. Once we started talking, I cut him off. I said, "Hey, man, do you want to do an interview?" And he was like, "All right, give me a couple hours." Bet. So I hit him in a couple hours, and it turned into something great, something very insightful, very inspiring and motivating, all of the above. Check it out. Hey, what's up, y'all? I got Rite in the building, Renegade Rockers, Red Bull BC1 champ, a father. Man, what's good? How you been?
I've been all right, man. How's everything going? Keeping
Everything's great
busy.
on my end. I'm just trying to get my reps in, being in front of camera, asking questions, being nosy, and trying to get
That's
all this
good.
information out of certain people such as yourself. What's it like
That's good.
at your age competing with these young guns nowadays? I mean, when did you start breaking, and what is it like competing against this generation?
Well, I started breaking in '95, and I started competing in the summer of '98. And man, to compete still in this generation is definitely a very challenging thing. And I think it's something that really keeps you on your toes. It pushes your creativity, your limits to the highest level that you could imagine. But also, it's very humbling because you see so much talent and inspiring at the same time because the level that you see in these kids, the way that they're maturing their game so fast and developing the ideas they're developing, it's just mind blowing. So for me, it's really inspiring still. It pushes me. And I enjoy the process still. Like I enjoy the process of creating. I enjoy the process of developing. Uh, and then I enjoy the process of competing still, like going to the battle, trying new things against this young talent. But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult nowadays. I think it's getting harder and harder.
And what is your practice like? Are you just trying to maintain the moves that you have? Because you got over 100 moves, as we all know. I mean, are you just trying to maintain, or are you still in the process of creating new material?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm in the process of developing new ideas all the time, or trying to do, or I'm doing new things that I haven't really utilized or done ever in battles. So in practice, before I used to practice different than I battled. I feel like when I would battle, I do have a certain set of moves that I'm always running to, and when I was winning all these titles and like a certain peak of my career, I was comfortable with certain moves that I was delivering. But then with the way I practiced was also a bit different. I had more freedom in practice and the way I connected moves. So now I flipped the switch. So I took that approach from practice and I use that in battles now. And I scratched the move idea where I constantly do the same moves. I scratch the idea of that, and I just implement them as I feel and as I move in the battles. So it's a little bit of a different feeling now. But I feel like that's what the wave of the future has come to because I felt it coming already when I was practicing that way already. I felt like that was the way that I needed to move in the future.
Wow, interesting. So you totally did the remix on your entire formula and how you approach a battle.
Yeah.
How do you feel with that formula? Did it take some time to get used to, or was it just like a light switch? You just flipped it and you were good, or is this something that you still need to practice?
No, I mean, it's something that you still need to practice. It's something where you unlock different angles and different ways to connect your moves and utilizing your weak side, your awkward side. So it's like you're maturing the weak sides of your breaking to make them more natural. And as you in that process, what's happening is you're developing new looks to your moves or finding new ways to get into signatures. And that practice, you're just moving freely, so you're flowing in and out of your concepts. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been like I unlocked this a couple years ago where I felt like I started moving more on the opposite side, being more free, and it just opened this new way for me that I've been riding on for like a couple years now. And I feel like the exploration where I'm at now is just way different than before. Um, so I think now it's just more of a I get more fun in competing, just trying shit to see if I can pull it off. Because the thing is, I've won my battles, I've done my stuff, and I've accomplished a lot of things I wanted to. But now it's like a different journey. Now it's like, can I still do it? This mindset like, am I done or am I not done? Like it's just like I'm still pushing myself and enjoying the whole journey.
Right.
But yeah, it's something that like I told you, I was kind of doing already. The reason I brought up that there's evidence of the footage. So if you go, there was a video clip I posted. It's all black and white. It's from 2004 at Massive Monkey House after bumper shoe battles. Like me, Moy, Stilo, Rainin, we're all just ciphering in a session. And in that session, like if you watch me break there, there's so many moves I was doing that I didn't do in battles at that time. So it's almost like I didn't even use none of my signatures that practice, and that's what I mean. Like that style was already kind of in my arsenal, but I don't know, I was never really that free to try it in battle. Like I never felt like comfortable because I felt like that was just how I develop moves. I never looked at it like this is how I'm gonna deliver my breaking. I looked at it like this is how I find my movements. I freestyle, I flow around till I find something I like. I take that one move and I use it in battle. And that's how I always felt like I had new moves.
So now your entire style of battling is a complete freestyle.
Yes, freestyling with concepts that I've done for years, but also just finding ways to connect them in new ways, or even sometimes creating moments that you never will repeat. You know, like a lot of people talk about this feeling thing, but the feeling is when you do a move and you never see it done again.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, it's a freestyle of moves that you're accustomed to, but the structure of these moves and how they are performed and when is a freestyle. So
Yeah.
would you say it is all depending on the music, or is
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Well,
Okay,
well, I mean, most of the time the music lately hasn't been something that I can fully connect with.
right,
Not to disrespect any of the producers or anything like that. It's just some stuff I can't relate to it. There's the connection with me is not fully there.
right.
But I do try to find the best in the music, or I find ways to stay in tune with the music or on time with the music. And what happens is it's more that I try to focus more on just like letting go and being free with the concept. So yeah, with the music, when the music is there, of course I feel different. I feel more free. I want to get more aggressive with my concepts. But when it's not there, I still want to just explore and just try to connect the things that I feel it's like a challenge.
Would you say that with music as breakers,
Hmm.
how important is it for us to get down to the songs we love, such as songs by Rakim, the Jimmy Castor bunch? I mean, how important is that versus having to compete against songs that are produced because of copyright issues? Can you
Hmm.
explain that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing with traditional breaks and stuff like that, there's a certain bounce to the music, there's a certain sound to it, a boom bap sound, a certain drum that goes with it, and it gives you a certain you react to it a certain way. So that's to me that's traditional music that's gonna keep the essence of breaking alive. A lot of younger people don't connect with music from the era. So that's where you have this big disconnection. So a lot of b-boys are very flat-footed when they top rock nowadays. Like when you look at the old school approach, a lot of guys have more bounce in their step. There's a bit more of a hop to their top. Where now it's just very flat-footed, kind of lazy tops. And I think that translates with the music. So that's why for me it's important to learn your history, learn the traditions of the dance that we represent now, and it's not to say that you have to break that way all the time, but it's to understand it and have that style in your style. Because then you can utilize it as a weapon in battle, you know? Because a lot of guys are running just pure sets to whatever song is being played and running straight to the moves that they end up wasting a round that they need to waste on somebody. Like somebody makes a mistake and this guy throws an incredible round. It's like you could have just freestyled on his ass and like done some super basic stuff and beat him because you're just cleaner. And as long as your foundation and flow is there, it'll look
Right.
fresh. But cats don't think that way. They just think like, oh, that's that old school breaking shit. Like I don't want to do that. But the reality is, you need that because forever, like if you don't have that form and that maturity in your foundation and breaking, it's like any trend that comes and goes. Your style eventually get outdated. So if you don't got a strong foundation, your style won't mature as well. And there's evidence everywhere.
Wow, I need you to say that one more time about the foundation. If you don't have foundation, say that again. Just
Yeah.
that line was gold right there, man. You got to say that again.
Not I just saying that if you don't have the foundation of breaking in your formula, it's like your style won't mature as well with time. That's why you can look at a photo from back in the day and it still looks fresh because dudes had certain form and style and technique to the way that they moved. Whereas we look at certain photos as time has progressed and we have these awkward looking photos and weird looking faces and like shapes that look crazy, you know, and it's like trends come and go and breaking. And some of those trends, when they stick to the foundation with that idea and the evolution of those ideas, they last the test of time. They stay progressing and people eventually implement those new ideas into the foundation of their breaking. So, yeah, I think it's important to understand breaking's foundation because You don't have to do it every round, but you need to have it in your style because that's what breaking is.
Shit. That was tough. That was dang. That was tough. Hey, will you be at the Olympics?
Now I will not be at the Olympics. I'll be helping out with statistics and stuff for the broadcasting with I believe it's David and Ronnie. So I'll be
So
in the U.S.
explain. Can you elaborate on that more? What does that mean? You'll be helping with statistics.
Well, it's more like information on like what I do, what I did with my stuff, right? Like keeping track of my wins. So it's like giving information on some more detailed information on some of the talent that will be competing there, more stuff that is valuable to the audience that doesn't know about breaking. So it's like giving them like more gems on the individuals and the guys and the women that are going to be in the Olympics.
I love that, man, because I was just going to say that there's going to be a brand new audience watching. The entire world is going to be watching. It's a brand new audience, and just the way that we are collecting ourselves as professionals, as commentators, as competitors, coaches, and now you just said that you'll be providing statistics. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I love to hear. It's people from our culture, from our lifestyle, from our community, right? It's people from our community that's providing all of these positions. So I mean, how does that make you feel when you see people like Ronnie, Kid David, and other breakers doing other things?
I mean, I think it's really important. We have to diversify what we do in breaking, right? A lot of times we get caught up in just breaking, but it's important to develop outside of that, wear different hats. And, seeing them be able to do that, I think is really dope because we have to control the narrative. It's up to us, the community, the people on the scene to take lead and lead and navigate the world into what breaking is because this is a big opportunity and there's going to be a lot of eyes watching. And if we drop the ball on this, then it's our own fault. I think we all have our community suffers from a lot of trauma from past exploitations. So I think that is really important to be more self-aware and be more on your toes when it comes to communicating and explaining what we do today. Because it's since the world's really paid attention to breaking, it's been already 30 years. 40 years. Oh my God, 40 years since 83, 84. Yeah, I mean, think about it. That explosion that came in the 80s was so big. I feel
Right.
like we still haven't reached that. It's kind of like the stock market. It blew up and then we went into a depression and then we're coming back up. Like, yeah, so it's like now's our chance to come back and retell the story of breaking.
Man, you've gotten good at this. You've been getting a lot of camera time.
Yeah, man, I've been hiding, bro.
Hey,
Incognito.
so if you can, man, if you're cool with it, I would love for you to tell people how old you are.
I'm 42.
42 years
Approximately.
old.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
42
I
years
mean, a
old.
lot of us don't talk about age, People, I think, I'll say with this. I'm 42. I have no shame in where I'm at and still loving to break. The thing is that I never put an age on skill. When I battled you, I was 16, 17 years old. Nobody knew I was 16, 17 year old. I battled you in one night, I battled Crumbs in one night. I went to prom, I battled all these dudes that became legends in the game. I was a young
Right.
teenager. I never used age as a way to be like, oh, I was only this age. And now that I'm 42, I'm still not going to use that same excuse. So yeah, I'm 42, but I still like to get down the way anybody else gets down. So to me, it's all based on skill. Your skill is the only thing that matters.
Don't put a number on it.
Exactly.
Dang. This dude, man. Hey, I love that. And will we be seeing you compete at the 40 and over about our freestyle session?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm not considering it this year, but no, I think it just depends how I feel. I
Depends how you
haven't done it
feel.
yet. Yeah, it depends how I
Yeah,
feel.
exactly. That's exactly why I'm asking. I mean, everyone is 40 now.
Your generation, my generation, I think we're not the first, but in numbers, there's more of us still actively being active at our age, right? when younger generations, there was those few that obviously set the standard for us to get inspired and carry on that type of approach.
Right.
And now it's us, but now there's bigger numbers of us, which means that after us, there's more numbers, right? So like you got how you said Hong Morris and all these guys. There's the Manos, the Luigis, and these guys right underneath them. So they're getting close to 40 as well.
Yeah, man, you better hurry up and get this damn ring. So aside from breaking, is there anything else that you're passionate about? I mean, I know you have a love for fashion and for media. What drives you to pursue these things?
Well, I mean, fashion is one thing because I feel like breaking was always about that was a piece of the puzzle that was really important, right? I think when I first saw kids breaking or just people breaking, it was also their fashion that stood out to me. It was like, oh, like I like the shoes he's wearing. Oh, like that's a dope jacket or that's a really fresh hat. With that approach, and as I learned the history of breaking, and I went back and learned about our pioneers, it was how they approached themselves and they carried themselves when they would get down. So it was like I gotta stand out. If everybody's wearing this at the jam on my show, wearing this, like just be unique to the game in fashion as well, you know. So that was really inspiring for me, and I felt like that as I could afford it, I started to implement it more and more in my lifestyle, and especially more in breaking, because every time from like 2003 to like 2006, I would buy a new pair of shoes every battle or a new outfit every battle, and it just made me feel fresh. You know, it was like every time I stepped on stage, I felt like 100. So like it boosted the confidence. You know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's important, right? You do with what you got. Like that doesn't mean you have to go out and buy an outfit every jam, but it's important to do that. So as fashion continues to evolve and breaking, for me, I just like to make sure I dress like something fresh when I compete. That makes me feel comfortable, but I feel like I'll stand out because I am. It's like I don't look at battle as a performance, but your eyes are on you. So it's like you are an artist. You are out there as like
Right.
somebody that's leaving a mark for what you love to do. So that's why for me, I always look for the freshest things that I like, things that stand out to me, the shoes, the colorways, like all that stuff matters to me. So that's one thing
Yeah.
for sure. And then
And
video, like video is
and
the other side.
making sure you don't look like a 1930s football player.
that was that was Wicket's outfit at the first 40 and over battle at the prelims. I'm like, wait, you look like a 1930s football player. I even had a photo of it. You should post that. So
Oh,
I had
that's
cleats on and
fucked.
everything.
That is fucked up.
Yo.
You know, I was feeling good. I'm glad you didn't. Did you tell me that? You did tell me that at the event.
And the same day.
The same. You know what? I was like, it's too late. I'm already wearing it. It's the only fit I got. You know.
Yeah, I gotta commit to it.
And I'm about to go battle right now, so I appreciate it.
Hey, but you won though. That's all. You know, you still killed it.
Yeah, I had
Maybe
to. I
right?
had to. Otherwise, I
Held
would
it
have
out.
been the real boo boo the foo foo.
You had the black shoes choked out with white laces. I was like, yo, 1930s cleats. Let's go.
Oh shit. Oh, that's funny as hell. Well, that actually broke the ice a little bit for me. It kind of
Mhm.
put me at ease because it made me laugh. And I just
Yeah.
looking at my fit from then on, I was just laughing at myself. Every time I look down, I'm just like, damn, football player, this mother.
Yeah, yeah.
So talk about your media passion. I mean, you have you created this project for Red Bull, which was the Crew Code, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
And so how would you explain to somebody that is an aspiring photographer, videographer, cinematography, all of that? How would you explain to them what the process is?
I mean, the process of knowing stories. I mean, it's kind of when you watch like a documentary that appeals to you, you're like, oh, somebody had uncovered that story or somebody knew that story. So imagine all of us that live in this world of breaking, we all have detailed stories of different people in the community because you've been around it for so long. So it's like, which ones intrigue you, right? So for example, we take a phase 2 story, which Wicket recover, having cancer and recovering and like bringing the crew name back, and like that's inspiring. Like that's a story that a lot of people don't know about, but I just remember hearing about it years years ago that he had suffered from cancer. After you guys battled that summit, I heard about it after that, and I was kind of just shocked. I was like, wow, like, I also liked Wicket at the time as well. He was a dope b-boy, and it was just really interesting to hear that story. So to put that in like a series like that was really fresh, and on top of them being an iconic crew that's been, one of the longest lasting crews outside of the Bronx or out of New York, is like, and their story has to be told. There's other
Right.
crews that stories have to be told as well, but that was one for sure that I felt was really needed. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of stories to tell. We just don't know how to tell them. It's kind of like we
Wow.
always let outside sources come in and tell it, and then we're kind of disappointed in the way the story is told, and then we complain
Right.
about it. So it's like, why don't you take charge and navigate the whole system through this and like lead the way? And now with everything being so accessible, cameras, computers, just all this equipment to edit and tell the stories, that's the biggest piece. It's just tell a story, but the way you tell it is how it matters. So knowing how to tell a story is important. And being able to just be on top of your craft, editing and shooting video are crafts on their own. So knowing how to edit a video clip is its own thing. Shooting a video is another. So, of course, I think they go more together, but storytelling is another. So you have to work on all these elements that will help you lead and help you navigate a proper, well, like done documentary, well done clip, well done anything. It's just you have to know what you want to tell.
Do you
What's your
think
message?
do you think that breaking helped you understand the process of learning these things like editing, shooting it, storytelling? Because these things sound like different compartments, but they really sound like different moves to master, and how you learn these moves and then you combinate these moves just like a breaking combo. Do you think that's a parallel?
Yeah, I mean, I actually got into videos from I think I was with you. You had like a little video editor when I went to your house the first time. I mean, I was in high school at the time. It was my senior year, and I remember seeing, I think it was a Wiggles tape, and I was like, damn,
Right.
they did that with the VHS. And then you had like the little machine. One of the first times I went to your house, I was like, damn, that's how you guys edit your own videos. So
Right.
I went to Best Buy and I bought this little machine, and I edited my own video with two VCRs and these little faders. And I just was like, damn, this is dope. So that triggered it. So yeah, it comes from breaking. But as
Wow.
I started learning more about editing, and just shooting, I was like, okay, so it's like how you structure a story. So with my first DVD, if you watch my like straight up b-boy DVD, there's a story to it. So it's giving you a message, like it's like any film. So that I just learned from studying and going to editing classes and stuff like that.
Oh, so you actually joined a program.
The problem was where I grew up, the Santa Rosa Junior College at the time. They had one broadcasting class that would show you how to shoot. They'd show you audio, how to be on air. So you would be like, switch the camera, cut in, cut out. Like, you would have to do all the production of a broadcast, what it would be like. And in that
Right.
process, you would also learn how to edit. And in that class is
Oh,
where like the idea of story structures came in. And I would just read up on things, but I only had that class, the same class. I did it 3 years in a row and I aced it every time. But it was the same class because the program wasn't big enough to provide us with more equipment.
I see.
So I
I
just
see.
kept doing the same class over and over. And then eventually I got tired of it because it was the same class. And I couldn't
But you
afford to go through a bigger program.
so now that you understand how to shoot video, what's your thought process like? Let's say if you're competing, because a lot of people when they're competing, a lot of the guys holding their cameras, they place it down at the middle or they give it to somebody. I mean, what is your thought process? Are you just trying to get footage, or do you want an actual shot? Like if you were
Well, I
competing.
mean, yeah, of course you want the actual shot, you want like something crazy, but unless you got a cameraman that's with you, like most of the time you're gonna have to find an angle that looks cool or it's just gonna have what you need to capture. A lot of it you can edit and post, and then also depending on what quality you shoot it at, you can crop in and you can make your own camera movement if you wanted to. But yeah, I just always try to own my footage. That's all that really matters for me. It's more about I want to own my footage because as long as you own your own footage, then that's gold for you, right? We don't have nothing we can really sell to the world besides like maybe you make merch or like hats and maybe some things here and there, right? But when you have your own footage and it's your own footage and you own it, because when you come home with the camera at the highest quality that you could own it, then it's future proof. So if anybody ever needs footage of you breaking for something, or somebody makes something about you, or a future film is released, the footage is yours. You don't have to go buy it from somebody else, and you don't have to license it from nobody else. It's your own footage. It's like owning your own masters.
Thinking ahead. You're thinking
Exactly.
ahead. You've been thinking ahead.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's
Owning your
important.
own masters. Yo,
Yeah, so in the end, you want to own your own footage.
you just flipped my whole shit right now. So every time you film yourself at a battle, that's like a new song, basically.
Yeah.
I know this has been great so far, but I pulled a rookie move, y'all. The damn battery to my Canon died. It's only lasts 30 minutes. I mean, what kind of shit is that? I don't know. Still learning curve. I'm still getting used to all of this and being on point with the production, but bear with me. Have some patience. I promise I will never let that happen again. But how insightful was Rite? I didn't even have a title for this video until I stopped watching because of the damn video cutout. But I just felt like Insight with Rite had a good ring to it. So that's the title of this video. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure you subscribe. Hit us in the comments if you have any questions for myself or Rite. And I promise that next time I'll keep the camera rolling. I'll be prepared. I'm gonna get a battery, what they call a dummy battery, because I have to look online like, okay, how can I keep the damn Canon on? You know, because switching out the battery, that's weak. That's hella weak. So bear with me. I'm just getting started, and I plan to be putting out content every week. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.